Welcome to Cincinnati, the historic Queen City at the heart of the Midwest. In this video, we're diving into the downtown area's 5 different districts of the Banks, the Central Business District, the historic German area of Over-the-Rhine, Mount Adams, and I'll touch on the up-and-coming West End. I'll cover everything from iconic landmarks to local hidden gems. We'll go over some of the top places to eat and drink, where to stay, and I'll even throw in some travel and money-saving tips along the way. Founded in 1788, Cincinnati takes its name from Cincinnatus, a Roman patrician, statesman, and military leader who became a symbol of civic virtue and humble leadership. He is honored today with a bronze statue that stands proudly at Sawyer Point along the Ohio River. Once the 6th largest city in the United States, Cincinnati played a pivotal role in the nation's westward expansion and industrial growth. The Ohio River, a lifeline that once connected frontier settlements to the rest of the country. The river made Cincinnati a bustling hub of commerce and culture in the 19th century. Known as Porkopolis, the city led the nation in pork processing, with smokehouses and stockyards lining its thriving riverfront. At the same time, the Miami and Erie Canal carved a watery path through what is now Central Parkway, bringing even more goods and people into the heart of the city. By the early 1900s, with the rise of the railroads, different trade routes emerged, and Cincinnati's canal and pork processing days slowly came to an end. The canals were abandoned and eventually filled in. But that industrious legacy lives on to this day through the various flying pig mascots seen throughout the city and the iconic Flying Pig Marathon that takes place every year. Cincinnati-style chili, born in the 1920s thanks to Greek immigrants at Empress Chili, is a sweet savory meat sauce spiced with cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove. Skyline and Gold Star are the city's iconic rival chains. You'll also find it topping hot dogs as classic conies, cementing its status as a uniquely Cincinnati comfort food. Is Cincinnati safe? The answer is layered. Overall, the core of downtown Cincinnati, including the Banks, the Central Business District, Mount Adams, and the newly revitalized parts of Over-the-Rhine, is generally safe, especially during the daytime and in well-trafficked areas. However, some pockets and certain edges of Over-the-Rhine, particularly in parts of the West End, do still experience higher rates of crime, especially property-related incidents like theft and occasional violent crimes. The Vine Street area is the main drag and is usually busy, especially when the weather's nice. It's well lit at night and has plenty of bars, restaurants, and shops to patronize. Try to stay south of Liberty Street after the sun goes down. The best times to visit Cincinnati are during the spring, fall, and early summer months. The weather is warm but comfortable, and the city comes alive with festivals and outdoor events. July and August can get uncomfortably hot and humid, so if you want the best exploring weather, it's smart to plan around those months. The fall brings cooler, more comfortable weather, the perfect backdrop for Oktoberfest. Cincinnati's Oktoberfest is ranked among the top 5 largest in the world, drawing crowds with its lively atmosphere, German food, and endless beer. Getting around Cincinnati is easy and convenient. Downtown is very walkable, but the best way to explore downtown is by hopping on the Cincinnati streetcar, also known as the Connector, and the best part is, it's completely free. The streetcar makes it quick and easy to travel from the Banks through the Central Business District and into Over-the-Rhine. The 3.6-mile loop has 18 stops and takes approximately 40 minutes to do a complete loop. There are usually 3 streetcars in service at a time, and they arrive at each stop about every 10 to 12 minutes. So you never have to wait too long. Other inexpensive services like Uber and Lyft, electric scooters Bird and Lime, as well as red bike rentals are available throughout the city. If you're visiting Cincinnati for the first time or just want someone to show you around, then check out Riverside Food Tours. You'll learn some great history and interesting stories, try some of the city's best foods, and probably meet some new friends. They were one of the original tour startups in the downtown area. I've done multiple tours with them, and I consider this a must-do when in Cincinnati. They offer a wide variety of tours, so I'll leave some links in the description. Starting down along the Ohio River is the Banks, a vibrant entertainment and cultural district that blends history with modern charm. Nestled between the beautiful Great American Ballpark home of the Reds, America's first professional baseball team, and the Bengals' Paycor Stadium. The Banks is a hub for sports, concerts, nightlife, and scenic river views. There are many restaurants and bars in this area, perfect for letting your hair down after a game or a concert. Along the river, you'll find Smale Riverfront Park, a beautifully designed green space with interactive fountains, riverfront swings, and access to the Ohio River Trail, a popular path for biking and walking. The iconic John A. Roebling Suspension Bridge was completed in 1866. It was the longest suspension bridge in the world at the time and served as a prototype for the Brooklyn Bridge in New York City. The bridge was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1975 and underwent a 9-month rehabilitation project in 2021. Just east of the bridge and Smale Park is the Serpentine Wall and Sawyer Point Park, perfect for relaxing by the river or catching a live event. If you want to stay in the heart of everything, the AC Hotel is my recommendation. Located across from Great American Ballpark and just a few steps from bars, restaurants, and the streetcar's first stop, the location can't be beat. They also have a rooftop bar, claiming the best view in the city. The terrace overlooks the park, river, and part of the stadium. The rooms are pretty basic and the pillows are actually terrible, but it checks every other box. If you're coming in for a sporting event or concert, make sure to book this hotel well in advance. Just below the AC Hotel is the massive central riverfront parking garage. This is my go-to place to park because there's always space available. If you want something a little nicer away from the party scene, then you can't go wrong with the Lytle Park Hotel that's just a short walk away. In fact, April 2025, Travel and Leisure magazine put this hotel on its list of top 500 best hotels in the world. There are a lot of small establishments selling bar and comfort food around the Banks area. If you're looking for something better or healthier, there are a number of places nearby. The Banks is also a DORA district, meaning you can walk around with an open container within that designated area. There are 2 standout museums within the Banks that are well worth a visit. The National Underground Railroad Freedom Center offers powerful exhibits that explore the fight for freedom and the enduring legacy of the Underground Railroad. Just next door, on the west side of Great American Ballpark, the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum celebrates Cincinnati's deep baseball roots with interactive exhibits, memorabilia, and tributes to legendary players. Newport, Kentucky is located just across the Ohio River from the Banks and is easily accessible by foot, bike, or the South Bank shuttle. The trolley makes a convenient loop between the Banks, Newport, and Covington and costs just $1 each way, making it an affordable option for exploring both sides of the river. If you're walking or biking, you can cross via the Southgate Bridge or the more iconic Purple People Bridge, a beloved Cincinnati landmark. The Purple People Bridge originally opened in 1872 as the first railroad bridge across the Ohio River. The structure eventually fell into disrepair and was closed to traffic. Fortunately, it was restored and reopened in 2003 as a pedestrian-only bridge, earning its colorful nickname from the bright purple paint it was given during renovations. While the paint has faded over time, the name remains, making it one of the most scenic and memorable ways to cross into Kentucky. Once across the river, Newport on the Levee offers a full day's worth of entertainment, shopping, and dining. Whether you're visiting the Newport Aquarium, catching a movie, jamming to some live music, or relaxing with a view of the Cincinnati skyline, there's something for everyone. Just across the street from the theater, you'll find an authentic Hofbräuhaus, modeled after the original in Munich, Germany, serving traditional Bavarian food, beer brewed on site, and live music. If you're curious about the original Hofbräuhaus in Germany, its complex history and Nazi past, check out my video on Munich. I'll link it in the description. For a classic riverfront experience, head down to Riverboat Row, where you can book a B riverboat cruise, offering both daytime sightseeing tours and evening dinner cruises that showcase the city from the water in a unique and unforgettable way. The Central Business District is at the core of downtown Cincinnati, comprised of modern skyscrapers peppered among historic buildings. Interstate 71 cuts through the city, splitting the Banks and the Central Business District. It was cleverly designed to run below street level, creating a natural divide between the two neighborhoods without disrupting walkability. At the center of it all is Fountain Square, often referred to as the Fountain District, a lively public plaza and social hub. There are free concerts here weekly. Now, you won't see Taylor Swift or Coldplay here, but mostly cover bands. But it's still a great time, and it's totally free. Fountain Square is surrounded by some of Cincinnati's most celebrated restaurants. David Falk owns 3 of the best, and they're all next to each other. Nada is one of our favorites for a late lunch or early dinner. The Sangria Rojo, crafted with rich brandy and sweet peach nectar, quickly became our favorite drink on the menu. As for food, the braised chicken enchiladas pack just the right amount of heat and truly live up to their world-famous title. And don't skip the small plates. The grilled street corn with chili mayo and the crispy Brussels sprouts, drizzled with chipotle honey over carrot puree, were without a doubt the best we've ever tasted. Boca and Soto are more upscale French and Italian flavors, and you really can't go wrong with either one, but you will need reservations for all 3. Across the street from Nada and the Arnoff Center for the Arts is Nicholson's Scottish Pub. This tavern was built on top of a little Scottish soil, brought in by the owner. All of the food here is excellent, but a few of my favorite must-try items are the imported Scottish brew Belhaven, and I don't like dark beer, the fish and chips, the bangers and mash, and the Scottish egg. Right across from Fountain Square is Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse, an upscale, old-school Cincinnati experience with prime steaks and live music. Sandwiched between the Central Business District and Mount Adams is the Hard Rock Casino, a large casino with live music and dining, a little slice of Vegas in downtown Cincinnati. The Central Business District is also home to some of Cincinnati's most stylish places to stay. The Cincinnatian Hotel, originally built in 1882, blends historic architecture with modern luxury and is a registered Historic Hotel of America. Just a block away from Fountain Square is the Renaissance Downtown Hotel. This hotel offers elegant accommodations in a beautifully restored 1901 structure. The location is great and the rooms are spacious and comfortable. Over-the-Rhine, one of Cincinnati's most iconic neighborhoods, began its transformation during the mid-1800s when waves of German immigrants settled the area north of the Miami and Erie Canal. They nicknamed the canal the Rhine after the river back home, and whenever they crossed it to head into the city, they'd say they were going over the Rhine. The name stuck, and so did the character. Today, this historic neighborhood is full of life, packed with restaurants, bars, cafes, and small local shops, all set against a backdrop of gorgeous Italianate architecture. Back in the 1800s, Cincinnati was actually one of the top beer-producing cities in the US, and the German influence is a big reason why. Beneath the streets of OTR, there's a network of underground lagering tunnels that were once used to keep beer cool before modern refrigeration. Some people believe that these underground cellars are haunted. They're not open to the public on a walk-in basis, but you can still book a tour, and it's a must if you're into beer or history. At the heart of Over-the-Rhine, Washington Park is where locals and visitors come to relax, connect, and soak up the park's well-kept beauty. It's the perfect place to spend an afternoon or unwind after exploring nearby shops and restaurants. Right across the street, you'll find the stunning Cincinnati Music Hall, one of the city's most iconic buildings. Built in 1878, this beautifully restored landmark is home to the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra, opera and ballet, and even if you don't catch a performance, the architecture alone is worth a look. First up, if you're in the mood for Italian, do not skip Pep and Dolores. It's cozy, stylish, and full of old-school charm, with a menu that's all about fresh, handmade pasta and simple ingredients done really, really well. The atmosphere strikes the perfect balance between date night romantic and neighborhood hangout, and their spicy vodka and limoni spaghetti is my favorite. Also, get the house-made ricotta and sourdough. Trust me. For drinks, Rheingeist Brewery is my favorite and an OTR institution. It's set in this massive old industrial building, and the vibe is fun and laid back. They've got a huge tap room, tons of beer options, including their signature Truth IPA, and a rooftop bar with awesome views of the city. It's great for groups, day drinking, or just chilling after a day of exploring. Let's talk about Findlay Market, Ohio's oldest continuously operated public market and the last of its kind in Cincinnati. Back in the day, there were 9 public markets in the city, but this is the only one still standing, and it's become a must-visit spot for both locals and tourists. Inside, you'll find everything from fresh produce and baked goods to international eats and sweet treats. On weekends, the place really comes alive as a full-on farmers market, with local vendors lining the streets in colorful tents, selling everything from handmade soap to homegrown veggies. And here's a tip, don't miss the beer garden tucked off to the side. It's a nod to OTR's German roots, and yes, the beer is served cold and the vibes are just right. While you're there, swing by Eckerlin Meats, right across from the market, and grab one of their Geta breakfast sandwiches. Never heard of Geta? It's a Cincinnati classic made from pork, beef, oats, and spices, kind of like a crispy meat and grain patty, and it's delicious. Trust me, it's one of those local flavors you've got to try at least once. Now let's talk about one of the best parts of Over-the-Rhine, the food and bar scene. This neighborhood is packed with incredible spots, and honestly, you could spend days here just eating and drinking your way through it. And if you're looking for something a little more hidden and a lot more unique, you've got to check out Ghost Baby. It's a speakeasy-style cocktail lounge built into a 170-year-old underground loggering tunnel. The vibe is moody, intimate, and just a little mysterious in the best way. They serve amazing craft cocktails and often feature live music or DJs. It's one of those places you almost don't want to share, but here we are. Mount Adams. Perched on a hillside overlooking downtown, Mount Adams offers a completely different vibe. With its narrow, winding streets, historic homes, and cozy staircases, the neighborhood feels like a little European village tucked right into the heart of Cincinnati. It's perfect for a relaxing afternoon or a romantic evening out, with attractions like the Cincinnati Art Museum, one of the oldest in the country and free to visit. Eden Park has sprawling green space perfect to spread out and relax, scenic walking paths, and giant fountain. The dining and bar scene here is full of character. Grab a coffee at the neighborhood favorite bow tie cafe, or settle in for a casual lunch at Mount Adams Bar and Grill. For an evening out, don't miss the Blind Lemon, a hidden gem bar with live acoustic music and a candlelit courtyard. The West End is one of Cincinnati's most up-and-coming areas. Located just west of Over-the-Rhine, the West End has experienced a wave of revitalization, driven part by the construction of the TQL Stadium, the state-of-the-art home of FC Cincinnati. This modern venue isn't just for soccer fans. TQL also hosts major concerts and events throughout the year. While the neighborhood remains primarily residential, the American Sign Museum is worth a visit with its collection of vintage, neon, and commercial signage. Although technically on the border of the West End, two watering holes worth a mention, the Pitch is a cool sports bar across from the TQL Stadium with a patio, rooftop, and food trucks. Right down the street is Queen City Radio, an old gas station converted to an indoor-outdoor sports bar with a spacious industrial vibe. Both of these establishments are great for pre-gaming and post-gaming.